All right. Hi. Welcome back. My name is Sarah. I'm the designer behind the Balance Pattern. And today I'm going to be doing more of a chatty video about a capsule wardrobe that I want to do for fall. I'll be just going through my plans, what I think I'm going to do, but it's going to be very much just an outline of what I want to do and not really set in stone. And I'll explain why. So if you saw my last vlog, I just finished my last summer project for 2025, which is bittersweet, but at the same time, my fall winter wardrobe is lacking so much that I'm actually very excited to make it somewhat more cohesive, more me, and just more, I don't know, fashionable. And I think the thing that trips me up is colors, because when it comes to fall, like I'm very much into a fall palette, darker shades of green, of navy, brown has been everywhere and I'm very obsessed with it. So like my fall palette is very much jewel tone fall colors. That's fine. It's really where I get tripped up, because in winter I tend to wear a lot more black and neutral and grays, and because I'm such like a ditzy floral print girl in the summer, I think it's where the disconnect happens, because I tend to want to do this for winter, but when it comes down to it, when I dress myself, I just really want to feel like, I don't know, I really like wearing blacks and wearing not as much color during winter. It's just my vibe. It's just the vibe. It's even if I wanted to do something different, I'm not gonna reach for it, and then I'm just gonna wear the same two sweaters because I don't have anything nicer or more fashionable to wear. Anyway, coming back to what I want my fall wardrobe to be, what I want to do is make it a capsule wardrobe. So I live in Montreal, but most of my family and a lot of my friends live back home, which is on the south shore of Quebec City. So I tend to go back home, I would say like every 3 weeks or so, and I always go for the weekend. Sometimes I'll stay a bit longer, it depends. And the thing with that is I never pack the right thing. I always look at the weather, let's say, and I'm like, oh, okay, I have this thing planned out, this activity, I will want to wear a dress or I will want to wear this. And I always pack the wrong thing somehow, where I get there and I'm like, I don't want to wear that. And since I don't have all my stuff with me, I'm always a bit stuck. So what I want to do is really make a capsule wardrobe as if I was going to be gone for the weekend and I can like swap things out. So that's the core idea. That's the main goal. So anything that I make for this capsule wardrobe has to work for like a weekend trip. So I'll just go over what these items are going to be, and then we can deep dive more into colors and stuff like that. So for this capsule wardrobe, what I want to do is first I want to make a pair of jeans, and I'm actually going to rework a jean pattern based on the East Side pants, which is one of my patterns, but I made it more form-fitting at the waist area. And I actually want to rework that pattern to be made for stretch denim, because the thing with hard pants is they sag, they're just not comfortable, so I never reach for them. So I was like, no, what was comfortable? 1 or 2% elastane. That was comfortable. Remember when like skinny jeans, even though they were so skin tight, they were still so comfortable because they had that 1 or 2% elastane. Anyway, all I'm saying is that I want to make a nice pair of denim that has a bit of elastane in them, and that's going to be one of my base for my outfits. So I actually got this denim from Core Fabrics, and that's going to be the denim that I'm going to use. I think this one is like 11.25 ounces and it has 1% elastane. I really like the thickness of it. So that's going to be my next project. That's the first piece of the capsule wardrobe. Then one of the items that I wear the most out of my wardrobe is my quilted midway jacket, the black one. That's the longer version. I wear this constantly. I wear it until the end of December because it's pretty warm, and then as soon as it gets like warmer during the spring, I take it out and I wear it all the time. Now I also have a denim midway jacket, a short one that I made with a shearling color, which I also always wear whenever I wear dresses, but it has more of a like 70s vibe to it. So I want to make a new quilted midway jacket, but I want to make it the short version. This one I'm pretty set on too. I think this one I'm gonna make navy because I don't want it to be black, but I was hesitating between making it like a dark brown or a navy, and because I'm gonna have a lot of brown, I think, in my other items, I'm gonna stick with making that midway jacket navy. So it's gonna be the short version. I'm gonna make it navy. I'm gonna make it quilted and lined. After the jeans, that's gonna be my next project because these are the two ones that I know I'm gonna make for sure, and I'm decided on the color. Okay, so the next thing I'm sure on is just that hurts my heart. Okay, so with these outfits, we have to think about accessories. And when I say accessories, I mean footwear. So the thing about me, if you didn't know, before I went full-time with Les Perlines, I was a footwear designer for 4 years. My background's in clothing. I'm a clothing designer by trade, but I worked in footwear for 4 years, which was amazing. I learned so many new things. So yeah, that being said, the thing with being and knowing too much about one thing is that you become very particular about what you want, which brings me to my next point. I want a pair of fry boots, like the classic campus fry boots, but they are so expensive. And on top of that, I need a white calf version, and I want like a darker leather. But yeah, the darker leather white calf is not in Canada. I would have to have it shipped here, and honestly, like the shipping, the exchange rate, and then I would for sure would have to pay like an enormous amount of duties. So I don't know. At the same time, I still want to wait like a couple weeks because the thing is, like, every other company is going to come out with probably their version of their fry boots. So I want to see what's out there. Maybe I'll like something more. The thing is, like I said, I'm very critical about what I want to get. Like, I just don't want to get any kind of dupe unless it's real leather, unless the leather is like very well finished, like tumbled. It has that nice round toe. If I find a boot where the shaft is leather and the shaft is like white calf, so it's enough so my calf will fit, I don't mind if the outsole isn't leather. I would prefer that because it's just gonna wear more beautifully and last longer, but it's not as much of a deal breaker as prices. But for sure, I want the shaft of the boot to be like a real nice leather. So even if I don't buy the fry boots, I'm looking at a over $300 boot, so it's a commitment. So yeah, I don't know. I'm keeping my eyes open. I am like looking at every single website I can find to look at my options. But yeah, I want a real nice pair of leather cognac with a wide bumpy toe, a nice blocky heel. So that's for boots. Now we have the jacket, we have the pair of jeans. With that, I'm gonna have two tops. One is gonna be a dayscape top, which is my newest pattern that I'm working on. And I actually already bought the fabric for that because I bought the fabric for the samples I'm gonna make to take the pictures for the website. And it's this beautiful mini check, lightweight, hand woven cotton. And I'm gonna make the crop version with the long sleeves. And that fabric is like a deep brown / burgundy with like white running through it. So we're adding that to the palette. That's gonna go well with the dark denim and the navy. For the second top, I'm not sure what I want yet. I'm keeping this one open. It's probably either going to be like a gingham, a check, maybe a floral in the same tones that are going to fit with the denim and with the jacket also. But this I want to keep open because if I buy the fabric or if I get too set on the design, I know I'm going to change my mind by the time that I'm actually sewing it. There's going to be a second top. There's not even an idea. It's just a placeholder for a long sleeve top. So let's say if I go for 2 days and I only want to wear my jeans, then I can switch between the two tops that I'm bringing, and they also don't take much space in luggage, so that's good. So my next item is going to be a dress, a long dress, probably long sleeves. I'm also not too set on the design. It could be like a checkered fabric, a gingham with more brown tones. I'm going to put some inspo here of maybe some fabrics that I'm going to keep my eyes open for. So it could be either that, or there's a fabric that I used to make a layover cardigan sample for the photo shoot that ever since I finished that sample, I love that fabric. It's currently out of stock on the Blackbird's fabric website, but I think it's one of their core fabrics. So I'm really just hoping that it comes back in stock pretty soon, but I'll show you the actual cardigan. So it's this one. I'll put the picture here. This fabric is viscose linen noil. It is so soft and comfortable, and it's also a bit thicker. It's the most yummy fabric. And this color, I don't know what it is with that shade of brown particularly, but I find it looks really good on me. And I think like a long sleeve dress would look beautiful in this with the boots and with the jacket over top. It's gonna be stunning. And then that brings me to my next project, which is gonna be a sweater. Okay, so for the sweater, my first option was to make a second sweater like this with the, wait, what's that yarn called? It's the Lang Cloud yarn. Yeah, it's the Lang Cloud yarn. And I wanted to make it in the color number 12, which has like burgundy, beige, browns, a little bit of blue, and it's very like a smoky kind of colors. And I think, first of all, the thing that I like to do with dresses, when I don't want to wear a dress, I like to put a sweater over top so it looks more like a skirt. So that would be like a different outfit than just a dress. And I also just could wear the sweater as is with my jeans. So that's also another outfit there. The only thing is that that yarn currently is out of stock everywhere in Canada. It's very hard to find because it's so popular, and I understand. Like, I love this sweater. I get it. It's super comfortable and it's lightweight. It's so nice. But I emailed 2 boutiques in Canada that I knew had that yarn. One is where I bought that yarn from. And I emailed them. I was like, oh, do you know if you're going to get this color back? And they both emailed me back. They both said, like, we're going to check with our suppliers. And then if we can, we're going to order quantities for you. And I was like, you are the sweetest. I don't know how long it's gonna take. I don't know. So whenever I get an answer, if I can get my hands on that yarn, I'm gonna get started with making the same sweater that I'm wearing, but in a different color. And I think it's gonna go beautifully with the rest of my capsule wardrobe. But while I am waiting for this, I also want to start on the next project. So actually, I'm gonna show you the current knitting project that I'm making. So it's this one, and I'm only missing a sleeve. I need to go buy more yarn this afternoon. So yeah, this could also work on top of a brown dress with jeans. So I could just swap this if I need it. But yeah, I'm finishing this, and I like to have just one knitting project at a time. I'm really using my knitting as just something that is creative, but at the same time, it's very relaxing for me, and it's something that I'm trying to do instead of scrolling on my phone. Yeah, so I'm waiting on the Lang Yarn Cloud, which I don't know if it's gonna happen. Hopefully it does. Meanwhile, once I'm done with this, I saw the most beautiful design today. It released. It's the Rosy Sweater by Le Knit Knitting Patterns. Listen, I'm very new to knitting. I don't really know the companies or anything, but it's beautiful, and I think I want to make that. But I think what I would do, because there's 2 rows of roses, because I think the sweater is a bit long and I like mine to be more cropped, especially if I'm gonna wear it over top a dress. So I think I would just make the top row of the roses, and then I would make the sweater just a bit shorter. And yeah, this afternoon I'm going to a yarn store. I think I want to find maybe something that would be green, and then I would make the roses like white or off-white. Or if I find a yarn that's very comfortable and that's kind of orangey or more like burnt orange, leaning on red maybe. I don't know. I'll put some pictures so you can see the inspo. I think I might also want to do a sweater like that. So I'm very open on sweater ideas. But yeah, at the end of the day, I want to bring one sweater only in my capsule wardrobe, because if you know anything about packing for winter, is that the clothes are so bulky, so I don't like to bring a lot of them. And then that's it for sweaters. It's still a brainstorm, okay? We're not set on anything. And then the last thing is I was looking to get a hobo bag that was like suede, but they're quite expensive and I'm not set on any design. But I saw this designer, it's called 11 Good Patterns, and she makes bag patterns, and she's coming out with a beautiful boho bag pattern with a zip. And I actually just think I'm gonna make that bag pattern. I never make bags, but I'm really down to try that one. And it's not suede, but I think I'm gonna make it in a micro cord that might be a brown color or something else. It depends when I'm ready to make the bag, what's on the market, what I'm feeling like, depending on what else I have going on in my capsule wardrobe. I'll pick a color, but yeah, in that bag in a baby cord would be fantastic, and it just needs to be big enough for me to put my computer in, and all my other stuff I just throw them in there. So yeah, that's my last project for my capsule wardrobe. It's very much still up in the air. I'm not set on anything because I always change my mind, and I think that's also the fun of not knowing what your next project is going to be. But I just want to make sure whenever I have all my pieces together, they can still work together, and I can just throw them in my overnight bag and leave for the weekend. And yeah, hopefully at the end of the season, I can come back here and show you everything I made, and it looks amazing. And yeah, I think that's it for now. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you in the next one, and that's it. Goodbye.